Hello and welcome to Teatime and Tarot on Looking Glass Letterbox. This is a daily tarot diary, just a shuffle of the cards to see what the tarot turns up for us to consider today. It is a general reading, so it's not for any specific person, any specific sign, or any specific question. It's just a shuffle of consideration. So if it clicks for you, wonderful. If not, leave it. Apply these readings as you see fit for yourself. It's entirely upon your discretion, of course. So we are going to go ahead and begin here with the moon. Okay, we are in Pisces season. This is the card of Pisces, so some of you out there may be influenced by a Pisces. This did come up yesterday, and yesterday was a day of a plethora of vague irritants for me. It was a little bit maddening, just made you a little bit edgy. So if you were of that influence as well, you weren't alone. I was there too. But in yesterday's reading, I sort of read it as maybe insecurities or frustrations or inadequacies or whatever has been stirred up within Pisces season, and bring to surface things that maybe you've been avoiding dealing with, you've just been putting off, setting to the side, you'll get to it later, about yourself or your perspective or things you want to change or things you need to address, whatever it is for you. It's going to be different for everyone. But this calm and peaceful and tranquil moon, I mean, look at Dorothy's expression there. She's like, come on, you know it. You know what you need to do right now. You know what you're supposed to be working on, what you're supposed to be addressing, all that little stuff you've been putting off. Come on now. It's time. Don't you think it's time? It's time. It's time to deal with that. That's what I'm picking up from this moon today. And isn't that just a little bit maddening? And then we have the Lovers. Okay, so dealing with those things and resolving those things, paying attention to them, managing them, whatever it is that you need to address, that this moon is shining down upon for you, is the commitment and the conviction and unification of what it is you are trying to develop and sort of marry to in your developments moving forward. So whether that's an actual marriage, an actual romantic relationship, whether it's a business partnership, a friendship, a project, whatever it is that you are trying to ultimately commit to for a long-term relationship with. It requires unification within yourself, understanding what it takes in order to commit with conviction to a progression of a long-term relationship like that, to come into connection with reciprocity and exchange and growth with the Lovers card. Also the card of Gemini, so it may be helpful to speak to a Gemini for some of you out there. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So get going. Yesterday we had the Knight of Wands pop up, I believe, and that was sort of a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of impatience, a lot of just wanting to get on with it, wanting to get on with things. But whatever this moon is shining down upon, I'm reading as like, you have to deal to those details first. Of course you'd rather put them off. They're irritating details that to draw your attention to. If they weren't, you wouldn't have put them off in the first place, but you did, and they need to be attended to so that you can unify in your commitment to charge forward with the Knight of Swords here and take swift action on something that's opening up to be developed. But if this is intended to, whatever this moon is shining down on for you, it's going to be problematic likely down the road, gum up the works, tangle up into things, and just be frustrating and maddening, and it's better just to, I think, for me, I'll say for me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, just to attend to those things now, regardless of how troublesome they may be. And at the bottom of the deck, Eight of Cups, continuing to walk away from what no longer serves you, continuing to walk that path under the moon in search of the commitment and the activity that you are seeking, that enlivens you and that you want to bring into fruition to be able to be managed and sustained over a long period of time moving into the future. All right, but is that the right word? The moon is this mysterious path here. Whatever these tiny loose ends that have been left dangling from previous, whether it's just in your habits and behaviors, whether it's a conversation that you need to have, an account you need to close, some attention to your the numbers in your life, like your bank accounts or your just all of the accounts that everybody has in their lives, their cable and their Netflix bill and their phone bill and their, just all of the numbers that are significant to your life, digging into the details of some of those so that you can relieve your taxes. Taxes season is coming up in America, at least. So dealing with some of the numbers that can be frustrating and tedious for many of us, but require our attention so that they don't kick us in the backside due to neglect. Things like that, just the minutia of things that sort of clutter up in the corners and, get tucked away to the side and forgotten, and then can be potentially problematic if they're ignored for too long. Addressing those things, and that releases you to charge on in on the bright idea or the ambition that you have moving next. Okay, we're going to clarify the moon. Ooh, the Queen of Cups. Okay, maintaining emotional balance. This is water and water. So, being understanding, being in flow, being engaged, being at peace. The Queen of Cups, she's not, tossed about in the water. She is the water. So that sort of solid understanding, emotional resonance with whatever irritant you have to deal that's being highlighted by this moon. Maintaining the equanimity and the understanding and sort of the peaceful nature, the tranquil nature of this moon and this Queen of Cups may be helpful. It's also the card of Cancer. It may be helpful to speak to a Cancer or another water sign. That's Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio. It may be helpful to speak to a Scorpio as well, if a water sign might help to process through whatever it is that you need to attend to specifically. A water sign may be very helpful support. Let's clarify the Lovers. The High Priestess. Okay, tapping into your intuition. Considering what is it that you want to be revealed to you? What is it that you're seeking with this commitment with the Lovers? What is it that you want? What's at the core of it? What's at the heart of it? What is it that you would like to be revealed to you so that you can understand and embrace and integrate into your own life? With the High Priestess, very important with decisions. The Lovers is a card of unification within the duality, and the High Priestess is sort of seeking unification with the One as well. So tapping in that so that you can acknowledge your own awareness of, after this has been attended to, tapping into your awareness of what it is that you seek, so that this Knight of Swords isn't just flying by the seat of his pants, in pure reactionary response to whatever comes across his path, but he has an idea of what his, what's the word I'm looking for? What his directive is with the Knight of Swords. So aligning with that, unifying with that, so that the awareness is in place before he goes charging off into activity. So let's clarify the Knight of Swords. I think the past couple of readings have been about being, maybe it was the monthly readings, about being prepared for when the next stage of activity opens up, sort of tying up loose ends, attending to those things that needed to be attended to that have been put off, recovery and recuperation and reconciling the past so that it can be forgiven and learned from and integrated, so that you're coming from a strong place of a mental stability when it's time to take action, because things are going to start rolling out very quickly. This time of year does tend to it does tend to take forever to arrive. It feels like it takes a long time to get through January and February, most years, for me at least. And then once it hits March, it just starts rolling out, and then suddenly it's October. So when things start gearing up and kicking off, coming from a state of preparedness and unification, and not having junk from the past gumming up the works and in your way and frustrating you when you're trying to get things done. All right, it's just clearing the path, clearing the way, setting your accounts to rights, setting the situations to right, resetting the room so that you're working from a place of open energy with no static sort of sucking up energy. Why am I still shuffling? Why did I do that? Oh, then we have the Chariot at the bottom. That's a card of Cancer again, so it may be important for some of you to speak to a Cancer. She's shown up twice here. But the Chariot is about taking a position of command amid chaos, directing all of those opposing forces into alignment so that the momentum that's built up behind you can propel you forward in the direction that you would like to go. It's a call to action. Okay, and being able to take that authoritative command and with your will and with your intention, which probably why it's necessary to deal with these statically little irritating details, to get those resolved so that you can unify within your mind, body, spirit, purpose, intention, and be in a state of mental preparedness to charge forward with this Knight of Cups, and the Chariot being the center of that there, because Cancer is also it's a water sign, so it's command with emotional resonance. Okay, because it's your water zone as well. And let's see, we have notes from the universe on love and connection. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Okie doke. So it may be perspectives that need to shift, especially with, irritants and cleaning up that space and cleaning up static energy and tending to things so that everything's in a state of open preparedness and stability to charge forward. It may be a perspective within relationship that needs to change. Your view of someone, something is distorting that connection for someone out there. Maybe yourself, maybe unlimiting yourself, those last tendrils of doubt and defeat or prohibition or limitation. If you've been working on opening up your mind to allow yourself to step in to a new space of capability and permitting yourself to really go for what it is that you want, and coming to this unification with the Lovers and the High Priestess within yourself, walking away from this, taking this Chariot space of command. It may be just clipping the strings of those last vestiges of limitations based on what you thought of yourself in your past and what you thought was possible for you in your past. So doing that in your physical spaces and in the practical spaces of your life, untethering yourself from any irritants in that area, really sort of doing things so that you feel like you've got your life together. It's because it's easy for it to feel like it's all falling apart. But when you take the time to put everything to rights, that has a great deal of influence over your emotional resonance and awareness and well-being within a space of activity throughout the days. So that may be it as well. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, all right, I'm going with that. So let go of the shadow of the past and see someone, even if it's yourself, especially if it's yourself, for the first time with the eyes of love. What would it be like to meet you as a stranger? Like if you weren't you, what do you think it would be like to meet you? Who do you think you would see meeting yourself? Okay, that's an interesting thought, an interesting activity to pursue. That is all that I have for today. I hope that was helpful or interesting or curious. This is day 48 of the Teatime and Tarot, so if you are new here, welcome. There is the playlist from January and February to dig into. I will link the playlist at the end of the video if you like. If you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate your company as well. Everyone who's watching, your time and attention is valuable, and I appreciate that you share some of it with me. The March overviews are all available on the main channel. I'll also link that playlist at the end here. And the extended readings for the March overviews in February as well are available on the Patreon. So anyone who's interested and enjoys the extended readings, I'll put the link in the description if you want to check out that and see if that is for you as well. That's all that I have for today. Have an amazing, is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. Well, whatever day it is for you, have an amazing one. I hope it is delightful and fulfilling and wonderful.